Hell yeah, I wanna shoot, baby. Shoot, shoot, they do. Shoot, they do. Shoot, there, shoot, there, shoot, they do. Hello guys, man. Yep, so we're reviewing Deadpool. Yep, classic film. Like, man, it's just cool that, you know, Ryan Reynolds got a second chance to play Deadpool, but a more accurate Deadpool this time. I mean, there's only like one scene in X-Men Origins Wolverine where he felt like Deadpool, just didn't really have his mask and stuff yet, and it just sucks what they end up doing to him in that film, flipping, sewing his flipping mouth and just whatever the hell that was at the end of the film. My God! But in this, we finally get to see the truest Deadpool. Yeah, and a lot of fans were happy to, you know, actually see this, and it just was this basically the first, like, well, people like to say it's the first R-rated comic book film, but I mean, Blade existed as well, and I'm not sure if there's anything older than that, but yeah, to me that's the first Blade. Yeah, that's a classic, but this is probably the best we've had since Blade. Yeah, and it just did really well. Kind of started a whole new franchise, and at least it's still alive after the Fox universe ended, and what they're going to be doing with Deadpool 3, bringing back Wolverine, which we'll see how that works. Because for people who get to Logan, you're just thinking like, how does that work? But yeah, we'll get into that once we get to like Deadpool 2, when I'll talk about that kind of stuff. But I mean, you've probably watched all these films before, so you kind of know what happens. But yeah, it's interesting to see what they do with Deadpool 3. But yeah, let's just get into this film. So this is a lot shorter compared to the previous films, even though I'd say like the first X-Men film's pretty short. But I feel like it's around the same length, and I kind of have like the same opinion with both of these films, because they're nothing like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 level, in my opinion anyway, and the comedy sometimes is a bit much, but it can be funny at times though. Yeah, that's what Ryan Reynolds does so well with Deadpool, because he's basically getting to play himself. He was kind of born to be Deadpool. Yeah, seeing him interact with this Indian driver, kind of talking about his life problems with his fiancée. Yeah, it's hilarious. And I don't know if like Deadpool tells him to like kidnap him and stuff. Yeah, and then this is like the big bad of the film, the one who basically makes Deadpool who he is. Yeah, basically you get like some kind of Weapon X kind of storyline with Deadpool, like what Wolverine went through. Just turns him into some monster, because he was supposed to be helping him, but he just turns him into some kind of freak, but kind of helps him at the same time, because he'd be dead without this guy. But you know, he still wants him dead, especially when he gets to a point where he kidnaps his girlfriend, which I guess we'll get into her character and how she's basically like a female Deadpool. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did something in Deadpool 3 where she just basically plays like a female Deadpool. Yeah, I mean, imagine getting Grenpool though. And yeah, I guess he's like a drug dealer and just deals with other people. And if things don't go his way, he'll just use his powers, and this guy just says, "You effing mutants." Yeah, allowed to still say the mutant word at this point. And you just seen like the scene that was kind of like a prototype at one point, and then people liked it so much they decided to turn it into like a full film. Because I feel like we probably would have got Deadpool like so much earlier, and because people thought like it's not going to work, it's just going to be another Green Lantern, which, you know, Ryan Reynolds takes the piss out of Green Lantern and his appearance in X-Men Origins Wolverine a lot in this film. Yeah, how they just completely failed him in those films, and how he's starting to actually play a comic book character that's accurate to the comics. Yeah, so 4/4 and stuff. Yeah, while he's going around killing people, he's just narrating the whole film. It's hilarious. Then we go to the X-Men mansion, and I like how flipping Deadpool makes a joke later on that they can only afford 2 X-Men in this film. Yeah, Cyclops and Megasonic Teenage Warhead, which I'm surprised I remember her name, because such a long name. Yeah, but yeah, she's cool. But Colossus is just like a goody two shoes, probably more than Scott in this film. Yeah, and they're just going to like try to recruit Deadpool into the squad. Yeah, and Deadpool's just here to get revenge, just taking the piss out of all these guys before he kills them. And also forgets his duffel bag, so he just kind of like puts numbers on the bullets and trying to make sure he uses them all on all of his enemies, I guess. Yeah, I mean, just every scene is just hilarious. Basically, he gets shot in the ass, but then he still kills the other guy. It'll probably heal up. Yeah, just the numbers on the bullets and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. It's just the way how it is, just so hilarious. Yeah. Then he starts talking about his origin story, and that's where I kind of like have a little issue with this film. Like, they kind of focus a bit too much on his origin compared to Deadpool 2, where it's just mostly fully Deadpool, because there isn't really much point to still talk about his past at that point. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like in some areas it kind of takes up the film. But you still got Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds, being hilarious. But yeah, I don't know if it's some kind of bounty hunter and stuff. And it's the way how he kind of makes a living, I guess, threatening people if they don't pay up. I guess he was doing a favour for some teenagers. And then he's got his friend who, sometimes I don't even know if he's actually his friend, because he always takes the piss out of him. Sometimes even betting on him to die. Oh my god. Oh my god. And yeah, when he actually fully becomes Deadpool, just that joke about him being it's like if Avocado had sex with another uglier avocado, just all that shit, man. He's just taking the piss out of him. Yeah. Like, he's such a great friend. Yeah. And I think this is when he meets his future love, Vanessa. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of the King being Vanessa, but not really the same character. And they just hit off straight away, I guess. They get a little weird love scene, which let's just skip over that. I'm not even sure if it's in this version of the film, but there was like a version that just goes, well, basically it's like a love scene, but they take the piss in a way. Something you'd see in like Team America. Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into Team America because Jesus. I mean, they both got similar comedy, so yeah. But yeah, they end up hitting it off. They just have so much in common. It's like they complete each other, I guess. But then, while they've been spending a lot of time together, he ends up becoming ill. Yeah. And finds out he has like cancer or something. Yeah, and he always finds a way to take the piss out of it. And then we just jump back to present day, where he's just destroying these guys, getting revenge on the person that made him who he is. And then they take the piss out of the X-Men Origins Deadpool. Like, what an abomination. They'll say my most prized possession, but he didn't actually mean that. Yeah. I just like how he can still clown around. Oh, he has cancer. Like, man. And they're still trying to be there for each other, even though he ends up just disappearing and joining something that might or might not work. Yeah. Because this guy comes into the bar to give him like an offer to help him. But Deadpool turns it down at first, but then he decides to like just accept it because he wants to do it for Vanessa, even though he could have at least told her, but she probably would want to go with him. But yeah, if how it worked, that wouldn't have been possible. So yeah, it's probably the darkest parts of the film, where it's just like at his lowest point and just feels like he has no choice, so he just decides to do it. Yeah. But he doesn't even say goodbye to her, so who knows if she thinks like he's dead and stuff. But yeah, this is when Colossus and I'm not gonna try to say her name again. Come to recruit him, even after he's just killed all them people. And this villain, he's just taking the piss. His smiles and stuff. Like, man, what kind of villain is he, man? He's not really the best villain, but Jesus. And flipping Deadpool just gets flipping slapped by Colossus. And then just takes him away by force. Then he just makes a joke about 127 hours and just cuts off his hand to escape and gets away from Colossus and Megasonic Teenage Warhead. I had to say him, man. I'm just surprised I can remember it. So yeah, he just ends up actually doing the deal with him and going through with the experiment, while also taking the piss out of everyone. Like, yeah. Then they end up also planning to do something to him at the same time, kind of like with Wolverine, like control him or something. I mean, that's what ends up happening in X-Men X-Men Origins Wolverine, where Deadpool just becomes a weapon without a mouth. Instead of Merc with a mouth, yeah. So yeah, obviously they plan to brainwash him and do things with him. Yeah, basically superhero slaves. So basically, it's the same as what Stryker plan was in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Yeah, but when he realizes that, he decides to break out, basically burning himself, and his skin starts to get effed up, I guess. Yeah, from the procedure, because even though he lives, he just becomes something else. And his only way out is to just burn the whole place down. I mean, because these other mutants are just suffering anyway, so... Yep, I guess he just kills them all. And then he has a little fight with this guy while he's naked. But, he still gets defeated. Deadpool gets defeated. And just leaves him to burn, but he survives, I guess. Then he goes to see... Well, he eventually goes to see Vanessa, but I think he goes to his friend first. Yeah, and he just, takes the piss out of him, the avocado joke and all that. Like, yeah. Great friend. So his goal is to, become a vigilante and find where his nemesis is. What did this to him. And just get a lot of funny montages of him just taking out people that know Francis, I guess. If you're thinking man, should I shoot you? Is that sexist and stuff? Just a lot of jokes. Him running over people. Flipping machine in the hockey court, my god. And then he goes back to the guy who basically recruited him in the first place. Yeah, and just who knows how he kills him. I guess it looks brutal from their reaction. Then this is when we see the Indian guy again. Yeah, and I guess that's how they first meet. Oh, I think that's a different scene now. And I guess this whole time he's been staying with this blind old lady, which you might recognise her from the recent Fallout show. Yeah, because I swear that's the same actor too. Yeah, but they just gave her grey hair and made her blind. Yeah, but she helps out Deadpool a lot. Gives him the weapons and stuff. Yeah, he's got someone to talk to. Well, she doesn't really actually get to see him. How disgusting he is, but when he loses a limb or stuff, she can kind of feel it flipping going back. Yeah. Enough about that though. But yeah, just what I was talking about, flipping, seeing his limbs go back, and well, she can't see it, but she can feel it. Yeah. It's just very creepy. But yeah, then we get to this scene where we're in a strip club where Vanessa still works, and just seeing Stan Lee flipping in the strip club is just hilarious. Yeah, I never thought I'd see those two mixed together. My god. But yeah. He just wanted to see Vanessa, but he just feels like he can't do it though. But then it ends up being too late and she gets kidnapped. So this pisses off Deadpool even more. So this is when I guess we go into the final act. And yeah, this movie just goes by so fast. I mean, because I'm kind of skimming over stuff, I guess. And he decides to oh yeah, this is when they take the piss out of the studio not being able to afford the X-Men. I mean, who knows, by the time we get to Deadpool 3, if we can actually get a lot more characters. At least this time we're getting Wolverine. I'm not sure if Colossus will also be in the film. And Megasonic Teenage Warhead. And then there's Yukio, well, I used to say Yumiko in the Wolverine, but yeah, she's kind of in Deadpool 2, and I guess is Megasonic Teenage Warhead's girlfriend in this universe. Well, even though, and that's just the confusing thing. Well, this is a different timeline though. Even though sometimes they do some really dumb shit that just makes no sense with certain characters and timelines, but yeah. Back to the film. Basically this guy, yeah, he just ends up doing some pretty dark shit, and they're just what? Basically definitely kidnapped him, and Deadpool's just secretly saying what he should do afterwards, kill him and stuff, so he can get his girlfriend back. Yeah. And this guy, I guess, Deadpool basically forgot the duffel bag again, and he was kind of calling this guy to get it for him, but then he ends up in a car crash. Yeah. And we don't see him until like the sequel, I think. And then they just have like a moment just looking badass, walking to the villains. Then you get to see some superhero landing from the villains, Deadpool taking a piss, and then Colossus goes to like reason with the woman, but then he just gets knocked the hell out. And this last part's just hilarious. Yeah, like this is like, I could say like X-Men is better at doing like finales than modern Marvel, because that seems to be modern Marvel's issue. When they try to do finales, it's shit. But even these X-Men films at their worst can still have better finales than, you know, modern MCU. Yeah, but MCU was still kind of good at this point. There've only some shit films, but yeah. And then Wade ends up, you know, running into like one of his old friends, but knocks him out, I guess, without killing him compared to everyone else. And he just basically like spells out flipping the main villain's name. Yeah, with their bodies. That's some kind of Joker Gotham shit, man. And then while Colossus is fighting the woman, like, I guess her boob comes out, and Colossus is just like a gentleman, like, it's hanging out, you should pull it away. And she just texts a piss like saying, oh yeah, you're such a gentleman, and then just knocks him out. Yeah, like Francis, yeah, hilarious. Flipping using the bodies. And then he comes to like serve his girlfriend. They have a little big fight. Let's try to kill each other. And she's kind of dying at the same time. Yeah, they have a little fight together. Colossus just still trying to beat her. But then this is when Megasonic Teenage Warhead helps and just knocks her out. She's able to get free using like the katana, because it gets stabbed into the thing. She's able to get out, but even at this time when Deadpool's on the floor, he's still taking the piss. Like, what is this shit? Then she just gets, you know, flown away. And then Deadpool just gets the thing that's stuck in his head out, and then just the whole thing just ends up getting blown up. Like, my god. It was like just falling to her death, but maximum effort from Deadpool. Like, that could have went so on. She could have just ended up dying with what he was doing. I mean, Deadpool's not really a pro, so even though he kind of is with killing, but being a hero, he's terrible. And even after all that, I guess Francis is still alive. And then he's just deciding like if he's gonna kill Francis, and Colossus is trying to reason with him. You know, trying to make the few steps to actually be a true hero, but then, you know, Deadpool just kills Francis after, you know, everything he did to him. And then flipping Colossus just ends up being sick. It's hilarious. He just goes like, why? And then he just says, yeah, I'll be on the lookout for the next 4 moments to actually be a hero. Lol. Which he ends up kind of doing in Deadpool 2. Yeah, you better figure it out. Yeah. And then just leave. Then he just ends up, you know, saving Vanessa. He ends up showing his face, also making like a Hugh Jackman flipping joke. Him wearing a Hugh Jackman flipping a mask, like, it's just. And then he finally reveals his face. Yeah. You know, it's a hilarious film, but yeah. I guess things end happily ever after. Deadpool's still taking a piss, saying like, why are you guys even still here? Just go. And then they get the kiss. And the movie ends, and even the end credits scenes are just hilarious. I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy kind of took a bit from this film too, with the end credits, just hilarious. Yeah. And then even after the credits, they make a flipping viewers Della's Day Off, like whatever the flipping movie's called. I mean, you understand the reference. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Yeah. My bad, but yeah. Yeah, just a hilarious scene. And saying like, make sure you don't leave any mess, because that's what people sometimes do, to just leave a bunch of mess for their cleaners. Yeah. And, you know, just basically made it feel like you just wasted your time watching the end credits, even though he kind of gives a hint of what's going to be in Deadpool 2, like Cable and stuff, and you haven't really casted who, you know, he's going to be yet. Thanos. But yeah, Josh Brolin. But yeah, fun film. It was awesome to watch it when it first came out. I don't love this film, but I'd say it's like an 8 out of 10 film. It's pretty good. Just like the first X-Men film, it kind of starts, something special, just like the first X-Men film, and just ends up building up a better sequel, in my opinion, because I prefer Deadpool 2. It's just this film kind of focuses too much on the origin a bit, where in Deadpool 2 you just get in the full Deadpool and it's just hilarious, and they add more characters to make things more fun. Yeah. Even making references to like, the X-Men Origins Wolverine, and then how far it ends up going, which we'll get to that. Oh man, character review Deadpool 2. But yep, hope you enjoyed the review. Appreciate you can leave a like. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.